Hello, I'm Chris Coogan. It's good that you're here. I'm going to be playing some jazz piano for you. But first, I'd like to thank the Westport Center for Senior Activities for having me. It's a pleasure to be here once again. And now relax and get ready for some jazz standards. And that's a song called A Night in Tunisia. This one's called A Song for My Father. It's written by Horace Silver, who is a Norwalk resident. So that's Horace Silver, and you can kind of hear an Afro-Caribbean influence there, which is making me think of another song that has that same kind of influence. This is called St. Thomas. St. Thomas, and some different feels. One of the things that makes jazz is the improvisation. So you'll state a simple melody, and it's what you do with the melody that makes it interesting. So you could take that same song and then using the chord structure, C7, A7, D minor, G7, C, and it's how you play that. And that's what you listen to when you listen to jazz. A lot of people say, I don't get it. Like you're playing the same song. You can do it so many different ways. Well, the reason is that you're actually taking the bones of the song, the chord structure and the scales, and you're kind of playing it differently each time. And that kind of conversational approach to art is what makes it fresh and exciting. And also what bothers a lot of people, because you're like, well, I want to hear the song the way I know the song, but the way you know the song is not the way a jazz musician is going to deliver it. He might do it fast one day, slow the next day, and have a different overtone the next day, because it's all based on how you're feeling. And that's the joy of jazz. So here's a standard song called A Ghost of a Chance. It's also a Broadway song. It would be considered a Broadway song, a standard, and you could also play it in jazz repertoire. All those three things are happening all at once. And while as a popular song, it would be like this. I need your love so badly. I love you oh so madly. And in jazz, you might slow it down and emphasize some of the different subtextures. I need your love so badly. I love you oh so madly. But I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. I thought at last I found you, but other arms surround you. I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. If you'd surrender just for the tender kiss or two, you might discover that I'm the lover meant for you. I'd be true. But what's the use of scheming? I know I must be dreaming. I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. But what's the use of scheming? I know I must be dreaming. I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. So there's a standard song played in a kind of bluesy, smoky jazz type of a way. Duke Ellington classic, Take the A Train. Take the A Train. Big band classic. Here's another big band classic. Now, big band music isn't exactly always what we'd call swing, or not. It's swing, but the jazz tradition kind of takes all the swing stuff and usually kind of is expanding the realms of the harmonic intrigue and the lines so that you're creating something new. Whereas the big band stuff is all charted out and tends to be more in the box. Let's play In the Mood, which is a classic song, and then I'll show you what you might be able to do with that to kind of expand the box that it lives in. So what I'm doing now is I'm improvising on the song, and so there's nothing wrong with playing the melody, but when you start to improvise on it, it takes on a whole new life, and every time you play it could be a little different. Here's a little bit more of a boogie-woogie version of it. How about a stride version? And more of a big band style. And then if you really kind of take it into a bebop place, and isn't it cool how so much music can come from just one simple chord structure? That's kind of the whole point of jazz. All right, let's go off with another song. How about this? Here's a song called Tenderly, which is a gorgeous song. I'll play it through normally, and then I'll show you what I might do with it. And there's nothing wrong with this. Sometimes I'll play it this way, but here's how I would do it. So when you take a song and you do it in a new way, you've deviated from the composer's conception of the song, but you've added yourself to it. And that's what jazz musicians do. They consider themselves co-creators with the composer, and will oftentimes take the same material and do it different ways. I mean, the same song can be... kind of a more progressive way. So now the beats. The first one was... You know, and the first beat, the traditional way is... in 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And so figuring out what your rhythm is going to be, and then how you're going to stylize into that. So this has a more of a funky kind of quality to it, and I would play funky stuff. All right, so that's a rearrangement of Tenderly. Let's do another rearrangement. Here's a song I've been working on called September in the Rain. It's normally done like this. And the bridge. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the typical way to play it. But this is what I did with it. Can you hear the melody embedded in there? So this rearrangement now has elements of the chords and kind of the scales, but it doesn't have the actual melody stated. But if you listen closely, you can hear it. September in the Rain. There's a great jazz song called, what is his name? On Green Dolphin Street. And I did a rearrangement of that to be in the style of one of my great heroes, Ahmad Jamal, who's a great pianist. Hold that tiger, hold that tiger, hold that tiger. Where's that tiger? Where's that tiger? Hold that tiger, hold that tiger. Don't let him get away. Hold that tiger, hold that tiger. Where, oh, where can he be? Lower highbrow, we all cry now. Won't you play that tiger rag for me? The tiger rag goes back to the Dixieland period of jazz. I'm going to guess 1900s, 1910s, somewhere in there. And it's got this beat. That's the first kind of jazz beat there was. That's called the Dixieland Style, which comes from ragtime. And that's Mapley Frag by Scott Joplin, who's one of my favorites. And the ragtime style is all about going back and forth, so we call it stride piano, because you're literally striding. And it's hard to do, because it's hard to get that accuracy. Guys like Fats Waller and Art Tatum were stride pianists. But out of the stride piano music, it became swing when they started to do this. So the same song can be played in a Dixie feel or a swing feel with a walking bass. So, I mean, you could play, let's do After You've Gone. That's a good one to do this in. So like the Fats Waller style. I can't find that, but I'll do this one. So, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Come on in here, it's the best band in the land. They can play a bugle call like you never heard before, so natural that you wanna go to war. That's just the bestest band would am. Oh, my honey lamb, come on along, let me take you by the hand. Up to the man who is the leader of the band. And if you wanna hear Swanee River played in ragtime, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Now if you played that song like this, now we're swinging. And it's made by that 4/4 feel in the bass, as opposed to a 2 feel, a 1, 2, 1, 2, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, when you play in the 2 feel, you're going to play ragtime kind of riffs. Those kinds of figures are all kind of banjo type of things. They're chord clusters, and they're very different than how you'd play over a swing. Notice that in the swing feel, it's all single notes, and it corresponds with the walking bass. Back to ragtime. So now we have some early jazz styles. So the blues tradition happened right along with jazz. We earlier did, which is a blues. You could play a song like that in all the different blues styles. So you got the boogie woogie style. And that led to rock and roll eventually. Then you can play that same song in a kind of Louis Prima style. All that high energy kind of stuff turns to rock and roll. Or you can play it in a more jazzy way. Blues. All right, let's see. These foolish things remind me of you. This is a fun standard to play. We were talking about Paper Doll before we started to record, so let me try that one. So there's a whole bunch of music that's standard like that, and we'll do a whole series on just standards maybe next time. But you can play a standard in a jazzy way, like the way I just did. Then there's the body of material, like from this book here, which is a jazz fake book, of songs that are exclusively kind of done in a jazz way, that are not standard songs, perhaps. Something like, I don't know, Round Midnight. And usually these standards have a lot more harmonic intrigue, a lot more jazz vocabulary. And that's Perdido. All right, thank you so much for having me. I'm Chris Coogan, playing some jazz and explaining perhaps some of the difference between jazz and standards. What is it? How is it different than Broadway? I love jazz, and I always love to kind of be an evangelist for it because it's important music. It's improvisatory music, and it's the kind of thing that I think it's important for people to get turned on to. And the idea that music can be so different and so kind of individual coming from each person. So get out there and listen to some jazz. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself, and I'll see you from the next program all about standards.